Hi everyone! Today I decided to start coloring a final page from Ivy and Inky Butterfly. It's not big, but in my opinion it's very elegant, and it's a perfect example of flower arrangement in a circle. In her latest book, Joanna so nicely explained how to make flower arrangement in different geometrical shapes, and I decided that I definitely want to color this one. I love that we have variety of different flowers, different sizes, different shapes, and it will be really very interesting to color. But on the first step, I decided to limit background, to draw a circle around flowers. I haven't decided yet what I want to do with the background of the whole page, but I decided to draw a small frame. I draw two circles, one is 5 millimeters bigger than other. You can see that I selected size of the circle in such a way that part of the plants isn't outlined by this frame, that parts of the flowers and leaves looks like they are going outside this frame, and I think that in this way it looks more interesting. I haven't decided yet about colors for each and every flower, but at least for the biggest, most important elements of this flower composition, I already have in mind several color combinations. Just like I explained in previous video for beginners, where I tried explain how I do basic planning of color, that each time I try to maintain balance between light and dark objects, between cold and warm colors, and also I will try to repeatedly use the same colors for coloring different objects. For the biggest flower in the center, I think about using red colors, and for these two similar flowers, I want to do something based on orange. And maybe later I will use the same orange for coloring some of the smaller flowers or leaves just to support this bright color. Because of the many small elements, I decided to color with Polychromos pencils. It will be easier to color small details with harder pencil core. My first color is cadmium orange. I start to color from the edge of the petal to the center, and closer to the edge I press a little bit harder, and going to the center of the petal I use less pressure, and in this way color in the central part of the petal is less intense. For the bigger flower I try to draw some kind of stripes on petals to left uncolored areas between cadmium orange, and for the smaller flower I won't be doing such a thing. I will be only using different pressure, again slightly harder near the edge of the petal and less pressure closer to the middle part of the petal, and in this way I got nice and soft color gradient from more intense to less intense color. To get a darker edge of the petal, first I applied second layer of cadmium orange. Then I switched to sanguine and added even more intense color near the edge of each petal. And then I added even more contrast using caput mortuum violet, and I paid special attention to each area where petal is slightly curved. This bended tip of the petal will cast shadow on the rest of the petal, and I tried to show this by using caput mortuum violet to do a shadow. I selected Caput Mortuum Violet because it's a color which has some brown hue and some violet hue into it, so it combines nicely with orange and sanguine, which I applied to the petals, but also it will look nice together with different pink and violet colors, which I plan to use for the rest of the flowers. That's why I selected this pencil. With Caput Mortuum Violet, I also outlined the central part of each flower. I love when flowers have these dark centers. I think that in this way they look more attractive. Orange is a quite versatile color. It could be nicely combined with yellows, but also with pinks, and that's why I decided that for the smaller flower I will do a yellow central part, and for the bigger orange flower I will add a little bit of pink to the central part, mostly because I plan to use pink for other flowers and I want to use the same color multiple times. In the central part of each orange petal, I used a very light pressure, so color is very light, not very intense. And middle part looks almost uncolored. I love this effect. In my opinion, it helps to show that petals are thin and transparent. For the middle part of the smaller flower I decided to use cadmium orange lemon. It's cold yellow color and I think that this contrast between warm orange and yellow lemon will look nice and more interesting than using a warmer yellow hue into the central part. But with such kind of fantasy flowers you can experiment and combine colors as you want. Now you can turn off the sound if you don't like my music choice and turn it on again when I will switch to another type of flowers. When I was satisfied with the look of orange flowers, I switched to this pair, which resemble pansies. So I decided to use traditional pansy colors like violet and blue and magenta. I started with light magenta, the same color which I used for the central part of the big orange flower. Again, near the edge of the petal, I used slightly more intense pressure and I got brighter color. And near the central part, I used less pressure. And then, from this central part, I gradually start to mix light magenta with next color. Manganese violet. Manganese violet is one of my favorite violet colors in the whole set and I use it quite often. I love that it could be combined both with pink, magenta colors and with other hues of violet pencils from the set, even with cold violet and with blue colors. So again, a very versatile pencil. You know that quite often pansies have four petals in one color and fifth petal colored in slightly different way. And I decided that it's a nice idea and I will be doing the same with my pansies. I want to combine on the fifth petal blue and violet colors. That's why I selected purple violet and I put it near the edge of the fifth petal and also added it to the central part of the four petals. Later you will see that in the central part of the fifth petal I added Delft blue, another very beautiful blue color, one of my favorites. The last part of the picture which I want to color in this part is group of three flowers in the right bottom part of the composition. I really love their shape. I think that for such a small petals I will need only two colors. And as I already used cadmium yellow lemon and green gold in the central part of orange flowers, and these two colors look nice together, I also decided that I will be using them for petals. Again, I tried to left middle part of each petal uncolored and I emphasized central part of the flower with caput mortuum violet. You can see that I tried to use repeating colors to limit my color palette slightly. It looks like the central part of these small flowers consists of small spheres, small balls, and I tried to left uncolored area in the middle part of each ball, or you may simply add some white dots to this central part with a white gel pen later. I hope that you will like all three types of flowers which we colored in this part. As I said, for the biggest flower in the center I want to use red colors, but I'm still not sure about colors for the big flower which resemble dahlia in the bottom part of the picture. What do you think? Do I need to use some unique colors for that flower? Or maybe I can use violet and purple again? Let me know your opinion in the comments. I thank you for watching and until the second part.